Okay, we're good to go. Crap, this is it. Yeah. Oh, the song. A test?
Yes. Listen well.
Once again, there was a call from Kraus at the guest house, and the message was that Kinsa wanted to hold a test to see if the grandchildren had the qualifications to become the successor.
The head has said that the successor would not be one of us siblings.
1 second, there's been a ping. What? One second, I'm looking at something on Discord. Huh. It's daily? Like today is so I'm missing Act 1. I wanted to know if I can do that. Interesting. I'll finish reading this later. What timing? Thank gosh, episode 4 facing his ass because I'm busy. Have fun, bro. Thank you, Tomato. Alright, we play game now.
The head of said that he wants to pick from among his grandchildren.
From Krause's restrained style of speech, Jessica realized that, as his daughter, that he was being forced to speak, and she was forced to realize that the hostages were being exposed to danger even now, and that if they refused this test, there was a possibility that the hostages would be harmed. But then, what should we do?
Indeed. Hold on.
Krause put down the receiver, then looked at the grinning Kinso on the other side of the bars. Kinso gave his next order.
Before the test, those not involved must be removed. Goda and Kumasawa are there, I believe. It would be a problem if they interfere with the test. Banish them from the guest house. Banish, you say? There should be a gardening storehouse in the rose garden. Lock Goda and Kumasawa in there. We'll begin from there. Tell them to do it immediately. My weapons will be watching. If they happen to do anything questionable, I'll instantly stop the test and execute all of you as sacrifices. I understand. Hello, Jessica. Listen closely to what I have to say.
Krause relayed the orders to lock up Goda and Kumasawa. What kind of test are you planning?
It truly is a simple test. I only want my grandchildren to show me their resolve. Well then, I wonder what kind of results they'll show me.
Looking disgruntled, Kairi watched Krause, who was talking with the children. I hate it, but for now we cannot refuse orders. In this dungeon, a feeble resistance won't amount to anything. If we provoke him too much and drive him into a position where he might kill us, there will no longer be any way to stop this murder. For now, the only choice left is to obey his rules without agitating him. All the while we're waiting for an opportunity. However, if we continue to obediently follow his commands, the children might be attacked in this so-called test and they might even lose their lives. Whether we feign obedience or try to resist, nothing will cause the situation to improve. Anyway, straining our eyes so that we don't let a single chance escape until the very end is the only resistance possible now. While telling herself this, Kairi watched over Krause as he delivered Kinso's orders.
Kairi-san, let us be patient.
I understand. It's unfortunate, but all we can do right now is wait. If only we could do something about these bars, we'd be able to return to the mansion.
If only we could somehow get out of here. I'll try something. Kinso-san, I have a request.
What is it, my friend?
We understand well that you want to test the children. It is fine for you to do as you desire. Without your power, the Ushinoya family might have been destroyed long ago. We truly understand why you want to carefully select the person who will take charge. Besides, that is what the family conference is all about. We won't get in your way.
Your insight is useful. That's right, this is the family conference. The final family conference where I will select my successor.
And yet, Kinso-san, if it is far too cold here, since we won't interfere with your test, couldn't you take us to a slightly warmer place?
At Nanjo's words, the slight signs that Kinso's mood had been improving were blown away. Nanjo was struck with a moment of silence as Kinso gazed at him with dangerous eyes as though praising him.
Certainly this place is cold. It's tough on an old body. Master, wouldn't it be alright if we moved them upstairs?
I cannot do that! Are you naive, Nanja? So, by acting as though you'll skip this turn, you truly and splendidly advance your strategy. I'm not falling for that, you see. If you're freezing, then why don't I line the floor with red-hot coals?
My apologies.
Virgilia had tried to help out, but in the end, Kinso would not comply. You two sure are obedient. If you felt like it, you could easily break these bars.
Even if we break them, nothing will come of it.
Of course. If you were to break these bars, it would mean the end of Goldsmith's game. All of you, as well as those humans at the guest house, would immediately become sacrifices for Kinso's ceremony. But surprisingly, you two might be the only ones, yes? Perhaps only you two hold the power to break out of the situation, right? You want to reach the Golden Land, don't you? You must have many dreams you want granted, right? God, you mustn't provoke them. This is not your game. It is the master's as well as my lady's game.
What is it, Ronove?
Honest advice, don't rush it, but these next 4 to 5 chapters will be a slug. Good luck, little bro. Don't spend 2 hours yapping. Thank you, understood. I already said, no more thinking. No more thinking. I will be focused. Also, 1 second, I must do something real quick. Back. Oh no, nothing. We were talking to the prisoners. Forgive us. Gap sent one final sneering smile at Kanon, then turned away. Kanon could only bite his lower lip and shake his fists. Damn it.
You did well. Good job hanging in there.
We're powerless because we're furniture.
That's right. We're powerless. However, furniture is sometimes relied upon and even loved. Right now, we've only been stored away in the basement. Surely one day, somebody will love us, because they'll rely on us. That's why for now, let's ignore the provocation and bear with it, okay?
Father, I've ordered them to lock up Gold and Kumasawa in the storehouse. Very well, hang up now. Shyster sisters! Observe the grandchildren as they lock Goda and Kumasawa away. If they do anything suspicious, then in that moment the selection test for my successor will be over.
When Kinso made his order, the Chester sisters appeared behind them in line. Understood, sir. I will scout. 556 and 410 will cover both flanks. 45, you're on wide area surveillance. Oh, 556 is... Ah, that's right. Sorry. She was a good kid. That's why I don't like them, Mia. Good people.
What are you doing, Chester sisters? Follow my orders!
My apologies, sir. Then, let us go observe. Move out! The Chester sisters erased their forms simultaneously. Landro and Kairi had witnessed the instance they appeared and disappeared as if by teleportation. But they interpreted this as moving in and out of darkness in a way that only looked like teleportation. And the two could do nothing but rub their eyes.
Well then, I shall begin the preparations for the test. Run away! Gap! I'm asking you to be the examiners. Virgilia, you'll watch the rats. After all, 2 of my furniture are here. Just in case, be on your guard.
He glanced at Shannon and Kanon. Tightly closing her eyes, Shannon gave a silent bow and answered wordlessly, avoiding any unnecessary actions.
Certainly. I'll be careful. Isn't this cold hard on your old body, Leah? Should I bring you a hot water bottle? Shut up. Go quickly, Gap.
Well now, what a strange experience this game is to have a test and examiners. I do hope this development entertains, my lady.
Come, arise, goat attendants.
Virgilia began to call out into the darkness, and from the spot 3 massive goat-headed attendants suddenly appeared.
Ah, Battle's minions. How convenient. Plus, they seem so warm. I see. So you used them instead of a hot water bottle. In that case, wouldn't sheep have been better than goats? You're the one wearing cashmere. They aren't very bright, but they faithfully follow orders and are quite dependable.
Indeed, I leave it to you, my friend Virgilia. The rest of you, follow me.
With a dignified gesture, Kinso fluttered his cloak. Following him were Rona and Gap, as well as the 3 recently summoned goat attendants.
Hey, you 3 are supposed to wait here with me. Don't follow them.
The goats jumped in surprise and then came tottering back. Kairi, who had been watching stunned at all this played out, couldn't help but snort. What entertaining underlings.
Lord Goatsmith did not give you permission to speak.
She was probably embarrassed. Virgilia had spoken coldly, but Kairi saw through that, and for a little while she couldn't restrain her muffled laughter. However, on the inside, Kairi was surprised at the number of people Kinso had with them. After all, including Kinso himself, at least 10 enemies had already been spotted. The dungeon they were currently locked in was supposedly underneath the hidden mansion called Kubodorian. Although this mansion had been whispered of, not even Kraus had known of its existence until today. Are there actually several facilities like this on Ronkenjima, where many unknown henchmen that only Kinso knows of hide? Just how many humans are on Ronkenjima locked away by the typhoon? No, on the contrary. Were we the only ones under the impression that there were only 18 people on this island? We were, who bickered over whether Beatrice existed or not and worried about whether a 19th person existed or not. Nothing more than the frogs in the well on the island. No, wait. And not only that, by now, are there actually more people on the enemy's side than on ours? Just what the hell was going on? Witches? Demons? Magic? Are you telling us to believe in those? Are my eyes screwed up or is it my mind? I think I'm losing it. A mass murder by magic. Demons forming and disappearing into thin air. Setting aside the enemy's numbers, how should we interpret the various things thrust before our eyes that cannot be explained with the common sense of our world? Kairi started to feel like she didn't even know what was going on anymore. And while desperately battling the urge to abandon everything and give up, she grit her teeth and tried to hold on to her sanity. One second. Okay, apologies for the distractions today. I started streaming and then everything started happening. Obviously, Goda and Komasawa were quite unwilling to be locked in the Rose Garden shed, but they were threatened that if they resisted, the hostage's safety could not be guaranteed. It was fairly hard to get them to agree, but once they started thinking that their safety might actually be guaranteed if the key to the garden and storehouse was to be handed to them after being shut inside, and when it was decided that blankets and food would be carried in for them, they were finally convinced.
This place is pretty chilly. I wonder how long we'll have to stay locked in here.
It could be as late as Monday morning at the worst, so a full day and night. I really feel bad about doing this to you two. George and Butler cleared a space on the floor, then spread the blankets there. They also left the canned food, crackers, and other light snacks they had brought. It'll be hard for you guys to go into Monday with just this. If only we could make a trip to the kitchen. They said not to go anywhere we weren't told to. Sounds like we're being watched. Damn.
I am honestly sorry that we cannot be of any use, and these are the times that we are truly supposed to be on your sides.
They can be helped. More importantly, take care of Kumasawa-san. We don't know what might happen. If the going gets tough, I'd like for you to play it by ear and come to the rescue. And more than anything, I want you to be safe.
Yes, I understand. Please be careful, everyone. Right now, the Master is taking human lives like they're pieces on a chessboard. Please look out for yourselves.
Golda started to stare at the floor, even now unable to believe what had happened as he remembered the atrocity of the dining hall, and he hung his head in shame at his failure to fully describe that error. Thank you. Make sure you stay on your guard. You too, Kumasawa-san.
And you all please take care as well. I don't have any idea what's going on anymore.
Well then, we'll be off. Let's go, Butler-kun. Jessica-chan. Come on, you two, Maria-chan.
Oh.
One sec. Gosh darn it. The one stream where I'm not gonna yap is the one where I'm getting distracted. Looking at the pitiful expressions on the imprisoned pair's faces, it got really hard to close the shutter. But we can't disobey. We're being watched. The shutter was brought down when locked. Then George walked towards the small window on the side of the storehouse. At that side, there was a small latticed window that could only admit light and ventilation. It looked like something from a jail, making the two of them seem even more pitiable. But on the other hand, it would hopefully protect them from Kinso and his subordinates. He opened the window and called out. Are you okay? You aren't cold, are you?
We're okay. You've given us many blankets after all. If we wrap ourselves up, we'll be just fine.
I wish we could have brought them a kerosene or stove or something. Though it wouldn't have ventilation here. It'll probably be tough for them, but there's nothing we can do for now. Hostages are being held against us. We can disobey. Damn it. If we manage to save Kairi and the rest somehow. Shh! They might be listening. Throw the sun here is the key to the shutter. George threw the key in through the tiny window.
Indeed. I'll hold on to it.
Goda took the key, showed it to Kumasawa, and placed it in his own pocket. There's only one key to the gardening shed's shutter. That key was being held by the ones locked up inside it. If the children had kept it and had it stolen from them by some chance, they would do nothing but expose the lives of those in the shed to danger. And even with the key, the shutter could not be opened from the inside. Kinso's demands were fulfilled this way. However, there was no longer any way to open the shed from the outside either. This protected them. Oh boy, I can't wait for this to be part of a mystery. Kinso had ordered that they be confined, and we could do nothing but trust that this cold, close room could protect them. Jessica watched this while holding Maria's hand and looked over to the thickets in the pitch-black rose garden. Somewhere in the darkness, somebody was hiding, watching to see whether we obeyed orders or not. Of course, when we pointed our flashlights out there, no suspicious silhouettes appeared. But somebody was surely out there, hiding and watching. I was hit many times with an urge to scream at them, but I was unable to hold that urge back through reason. The 4 children left the area, repeatedly looking back over their shoulders. The light from the faint light bulb in the gardening storehouse was seeping out silently. I wondered if this insane incident will come to an end somehow, so that we can meet those 2 again. To George, who had closed the shutter himself, the resistance of the lock had made it feel as though he'd killed them with his own hands. But even so, we can't defy them. What's with this test? Damn geezer, don't screw with us! Killing Mom, capturing Dad for that? I don't get it. Go kill him!
It's okay, Jessica, Oni-chan. There's nothing to be sad about.
Maria...
Soon the witch will be revived. Soon we'll be able to meet in the golden lab. Ow!
Don't laugh indiscreetly like that. Seriously, a resurrection ceremony for a witch. Getting so many people involved. And delusions he should have just kept inside his head. That's gonna cost you, bastard. Let's return to the guest house. It'll be bad if we aren't there when grandfather calls. Urged John by George, everyone began walking towards the guest house. At the moment, Jessica turned in a circle facing towards the darkness of the rose garden and roared. Hey! Someone is watching, right? Tell the old man! Tell him I'm gonna fucking kill him! Let's go! Of course, there was no reply, only the howl of the wind and rain. The children returned to the guest house, while fearing what was waiting for them up ahead. After they left, from the exact point in the darkness that Jessica had yelled at, 2 rabbit ears sprung up. Sorry! They found me out! It's because you're too slow, Nia. Pendragon, someone's gonna scold you. I'm sorry, please don't tell Pendragon-sama! Be quiet. It was obviously just a bluff. Goda and Kumasawa's imprisonment confirmed. Mission complete. We'll report back. Yay! Ow! Do you want us all stuck on nothing but carrots and water because of collective responsibility? Let's go. That was a pretty short chapter. The screen effect didn't appear, only the sound, so maybe that wasn't the sound of the chapter ending. How odd. 1 sec. Okay. The fact that they were being watched certainly seemed to be true. Because when they returned to the cousin's room, turned the lights on, and laid down in their beds, the phone rang again. Earlier, Jessica had been answering the phone, seeing as this was her house. But now it was the eldest, George, who picked it up. This time, Kairi-san was on the other end of the line. George handed it to Butler out of consideration. Hello. Kairi-san? Is everything alright over there? Thanks for worrying. At the moment, we're all doing great here. Sorry, I've been ordered to refrain from idle chatter. Listen to what I am about to tell you. The fact that they were hostages still hadn't changed. Kinso or one of his subordinates were listening to the conversation. Butler restrained the urge to talk about other things and focus on what Kairi had to say. The test will be carried out by Jessica-chan, George-kun, Butler-kun, and Maria-chan, in that order. You will each be summoned in turn, so until then, do not leave the room. When somebody called out, they'll head to their designated location alone. Butler repeated it out loud so that the cousins listening in around him could hear. So it'll be Jessica, Aniki, me, and Maria, in that order. And we gotta stay in the room until we're called, right? Got it. Maria too? Even a 9-year-old girl? What's the damn geezer trying to force us to do with that bastard? The fate of the Ushiramiya family rests in all of your hands. Do your best. Sure. Butler noticed a strange nuance in Kairi's words. Even without any blood connection, he could still understand thanks to their long-lasting bond they shared. At this point, it doesn't make sense to worry about the Ushiramiya family itself. That probably wasn't the message Kairi wanted to send. She probably meant there's no way for us to escape from this dungeon and we can only wait to be rescued. Our lives are in your hands. Something like that. Yeah, leave it to me. We don't know what kind of test it is, but no problem. I'll take it gladly. It's gonna be a serious test, right? Should we really go all out? Yes, it's a serious test. Grandfather truly does intend to test you all. It's useless. It's all useless. Some old fart in death's door is gonna give us a serious challenge. Let him sprout nonsense after he gets in the coffin. I know he's there, so tell him this for me. I'll be your successor, and my first action will be to shove my fist into your face! Even without Kairi having to repeat it, Butler's powerful declaration of war reached Kinsel's ears.
Butler! I am truly looking forward to that! I can't wait to see just what a man who once threw away the Ushiramiya name has attained. Just what lot in life he reached when he appears before me. Tell him!
Unfortunately, Kinsel's voice was not picked up by the receiver. Therefore, Kairi spoke for him. It sounds like he's more than up for the challenge. Got that, Butler-kun? There's no need to hold back. You are Rudolph's son. No, you are my son. Show me something I can brag about to anyone. I leave everything in your hands. Understood, Mom. Leave the rest to me. All of us here have lost the right to inherit the position of successor. Now we're just the same as pieces taken off the game board looking on from the outside. So you'll have to fight for yourselves. Kairi-san. The nuance of those words was, we've already given up, so forget about us. But, for that very reason, I won't give up. I'll definitely crush this test or whatever, and save everyone! In that case, here are the instructions for the first test. Shizuka-chans, go to your room. Really? Go to your room? What's your game, you damn geezer? Yes, he means Shizuka-chan's personal room, the one in the mansion. I'll hand it over to Jessica. Tell her directly for me. Jessica, here. Hello? Yes, I understand. Starting with me, huh? Well, I've been ready. See you later! Even Jessica was probably tempted to succumb to the fear of a girl her age, but she crushed those feelings and strengthened her resolve. Be careful, okay? We're probably being watched, right? We can't do anything. All we can do is exactly as we're told. They see that old geezer killed those 6 in the dining hall instantly with no hesitation. So if we try to fight back, we might end up the same way. I know. I'll beat them at their own game. Don't do anything reckless. If you think you're in any danger, your own safety comes first. If Uncle Kraus finds out that his daughter sacrificed herself for him, there's no doubt it'll tear his heart apart. It goes the other way too. If Mom and Dad are both killed, and I'm the only one left, my heart will rip itself into pieces. Butler-kun, what you said earlier is true, right? Yeah. Kairi-san and the others are already prepared for what will happen. Then, the way things are now is just perfect. Everyone's lives rest on our shoulders. The hostages can't do anything while they're locked up. That means we'll have to manage something ourselves. When something happens, run back to the guest house. At that time, we'll be done playing along with grandfather's game. Haniki, at that time, we'll declare war. Wherever they're locked up, we'll save them, and we'll deal with grandfather accordingly. Are you sure, Aniki? Shannon-chan is there too. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not sitting around and waiting for my fiancée to be killed. What scares me is not that Shannon might be killed by grandfather. I'm just worried you guys will get there first and clobber the damn geezer who made my fiancée experience terror before I do. I see. This really does sound like a test to see who will be the successor. Yeah. The first one to bury a fist into that old face will be the next head. George, Butler, and Jessica each forcefully nodded their heads and put their fists together. Then Jessica headed off to her own room and as designated. Her form disappeared into the darkness of the rose garden, waving in the strong winds. Watching her go, George and Butler gripped their fists even tighter, making them quiver. This is pretty fun. This is exciting. Left on the second floor, Maria watched Jessica's back through the window. She wore a blank expression.
I wonder what everyone's getting so upset about. Even though when Beatrice is revived, everyone will be brought back to life.
Jessica's phone was already being completely swallowed up by the darkness. At that time, the phone began to ring again. Butler and George heard it and came clamoring back, but Maria picked it up and picked up the receiver right away.
Hello. It's Maria-sama. It's me, Shannon. Would you please hand the phone over to George-sama?
This time it was Shannon on the phone. And this time the message was to tell the next person, George, where he was to go. Oh, is Kinso making like the most important people to them tell their orders, like Kairi to Butler, Shannon to George, and it's gonna be Kraus. Wait, no. Never mind. Jessica was the first one, so it should have been Kraus. Never mind. And this time the message was to tell the next person, George, where he was to go. Ah, there you go. You know, I apologize. This is the shortest stream ever. But there is stuff going on in real life that I gotta take care of. As you've seen, I've been very distracted. So I think it's best that I don't keep being distracted for the rest of the stream and end now and continue at a time where I am more free. My apologies for the terrible timing, but I shall depart now. The test has started, so next time we can see the test to their end. Very well, I leave now. Farewell to all, have a great day, and ciao.